These pre-wired relay pigtails are everywhere, but they're not good enough for a proper build. Let me show you why and what to do instead. This is the kind of thing you see all the time. Pre-wired relay socket, short leads, thick wire, already terminated. On the surface it looks kind of heavy duty. And it's actually the first red flag. There's a lot of red flags here. Let's unpack it. Let's pause right here for a second. All we need to do is read what's on screen right now. This is a UL description, AWM 1015. AWM stands for Appliance Wiring Materials. The 1015 is just one of many specifications for that. Are we working on a refrigerator? No. That VW1 is just a vertical flame test rating, a scientific test for the insulation, meaning that it self-extinguishes. Okay, what else we got? 16 gauge, pretty self-explanatory. 105C, that's too low for a car. 600 volts, nobody with a car cares. Alright, so we got GB 5023-1997, also useless. This is just the Chinese version of what we just saw. So, Chinese national standard for appliance wiring, cabinet wiring, things like that, not cars. Then we have RV and then the wire size in metric. The RV doesn't stand for recreational vehicle. It stands for Chinese words that mean something along the lines of multi-conductor, flexible type cable. And finally, the voltage that, once again, we don't care about, and nearly nothing cares about. So the only thing left off of this one, which I found marked on another wire the exact same, is it is 90 degrees C temperature rating. Also, way too low for a car. So the first thing we found out is that all this wire can't even be used in a car. So we're off to a great start. Let's see what else we can find. Pin 85 and pin 86 have 16 gauge wire, which is absolutely insane, to say the least. These should be 20 gauge wire at the largest. The remaining wires are pinned up in 12 gauge, which is, you know, a good way to hedge your bets when you don't know what they're going to use the relay for. Unfortunately, it's the same wire used in your KitchenAid mixer. So basically what happens once you analyze any of these pre-made pigtails is you find out they're filled with appliance wire, not automotive wire, and you find out that the gauges are super arbitrary because, of course, how would you know what gauge wire you're going to use for something? How far away is the load from the relay? Too many questions and not enough answers. And this might be the best part of the entire thing. 4 inches of wire and 4 to 5 splices per connector. That's a fun way to start. So what's the actual move here then? Well, a socket like this with some pins. This of course allows you to just build the relay connector for the actual job that it's going to be doing. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to splice the wires as they exit the connector. You can, you know, run a wire all the way to the load or to a connector way downstream. I do realize there's a little bit of irony in me demoing how to make a pigtail relay connector, as I say that you don't have to splice the terminals right away, but this is just so you can see how to assemble one. So remember, you can make the lengths as long as they need to be. You're not locked in when you build your own connectors. They're super easy to build. The crimping tool is not very expensive, perhaps $30–40 max. Wire stripping is very easy. Wiring tools are just like any other tools. There's expensive ones and there's lower cost ones. All you need to do is some occasional work. There's no reason to buy very expensive tools. If you're doing this as a job, you know, maybe consider a different option, right? I'll leave some Amazon links for you. One of the main things you should take away from this video is the fact that you can control where these live, how long the wires are, what size the wires are, all that sort of stuff. There's no reason why the logic side of a relay needs anything more than a 20 gauge wire. And there's no reason to have a 12 gauge wire on pin 30 when it only requires a 14 or an 18 gauge wire. This is just a small intro to one tiny aspect of building wiring harnesses that this channel is going to cover. Do it once, do it clean, and make it serviceable. Have your relay connector be mountable and not the relay. Let me say that again. The relay doesn't get mounted to the car. The connector gets mounted to the car. The relay is disposable, so that should just be able to be unplugged at any moment. This also aids in troubleshooting the car quickly. Here's something you can do with these cheap wires in these connectors. What I do typically is just depin them all and throw them away. This is the reason why I said you buy lots of extra pins. Whenever you run across these and they're essentially, almost garbage on their own, all you have to do is depin them and then reutilize the housings for your actual build. And there's all sorts of different ones. But anyways, that's enough about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.